Hello and welcome. My name is Mark. This is Riffle Shuffle and Roll, and today we're going to be talking about a little game called Uno Flip. If it's your first time visiting the channel, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell so you're notified about new games every week. For a full write-up of this game and many others, head on over to GameRules.com. Uno Flip is a commercial card game for 2 to 10 players. It is a hand-shedding game with double-sided cards and a lot of take-that actions. The objective for the round is to be the first player to get rid of all their cards. The objective for the game is to be the first player to score 500 points or more. In order to play Uno Flip, you need to buy the game and you need a way to keep score. Inside the box, you get an accordion-style instruction pamphlet and a 112 card Uno Flip deck. The Uno Flip deck is a double-sided deck. The light side is composed of 4 colors. Each color ranges from 1 to 9. Notice they got rid of the zeros. There are 2 of each number, and each color also contains 2 skips, 2 reverses, 2 draw 1s instead of a draw 2, and 2 flip cards. There's a wild card, 4 of those, and 4 draw 2s. Notice that this has replaced the draw 4. Now for the dark side. You'll notice that things get a little meaner on the dark side of the cards. So we have teal, orange, purple, and pink, and the numbers are the same for each color. There's 2 of each number, ranging from 1 to 9. Now on the dark side, we have a skip all card. This allows the player to skip everyone at the table and go again. A standard reverse, a draw 5 instead of a draw 1, and the flip card. This has the gameplay go back to the light side of the cards. A wild, and instead of a draw 4 or a draw 2 or any kind of number, this is a draw until you get the color I choose. So a player would lay this on the discard pile, change the color to one of the 4 that they want, and the next player has to draw cards until they get that color. Before setting up for the game, make sure all the cards are facing the same direction. Each player at the table should cut the deck. The highest card cut deals first. All of the action cards are considered 0. Dealers should shuffle the deck and deal 7 cards to each player. Make sure that the cards are being dealt light side down. The rest of the cards are placed face down in the center of the playing space. The dark side of the cards should be showing. Take the top card and turn it over to begin the discard pile. The round begins with the player to the left of the dealer. For this game, we're going to play that the dealer is at the bottom of the screen. On a player's turn, they may play a card that either matches the color or the number. They may also play a wild if they choose. If the player does not have a card to play, or if they do not want to play a card from their hand, they draw a card from the draw pile. If that card is playable, they may add it to the discard pile, or they may choose to keep it. If it is not playable, it is automatically added to their hand. Once a player draws, they may not choose to play a different card from their hand to the pile. If an action card is the first card turned up for the game, then the player going first must do what is required of them. So this is a draw 1, so this player would begin the game by drawing 1 and then passing their turn. If it was a skip, the first player would be skipped. If it was a reverse, the turn would automatically be going the other way, and the dealer would go first. It is possible for the game to begin with a flip card. When the flip card is played, or if the game begins with it, everyone will immediately flip their hands. We'll go over what a flip card does here in a moment. So here we are back to the original setup. Play begins with the player left of the dealer. They have some blue cards and they choose to play their blue 8. Play passes left, and this player at the top of the screen chooses to play their blue skip. Play continues. This player plays a draw 1. The dealer draws and adds the card to their hand. When a player is forced to draw because of an action card, they skip their turn. So the dealer drew, and now it is back to player 1's turn. Player 1 only has 2 blue flip cards in their hand, so they're about to flip this game to the dark side. Before they do, I want to cover what happens when a player plays a wild draw 2 card. So if player 3 plays the wild draw 2, they get to pick what color they want the pile to become. And then the dealer would have to draw 2 cards. In this game, the player that is being forced to draw by a wild draw 2 card can challenge it. If the dealer wanted, they could challenge player 3. If the player's challenged, they must show their hand. If the player who played the wild draw 2 card has a card that could have been played, then they must draw 2 instead of the player they played it on. If the player that played the wild draw 2 doesn't have anything in their hand that could have been played, then the challenger must draw 4. They are penalized by drawing 2 extra cards. Alright, so to return the normal play, we have player 1 playing their blue flip card. When a flip card is played, everything flips. Each player flips their hand over so that the dark side is facing them. The draw pile is flipped so that the light side is showing. And the discard pile is flipped, and whatever card shows is the new card that must be played on. So when player 2 takes their turn, they will have to play a pink card, or a 9. Player 2 takes their turn by playing the skip all card. Each player is skipped and play returns to player 2. They now choose to play the draw until you get a color card. They want to change the color to purple, so player 3 must draw until they get a purple card. The challenge rule applies for the dark-sided wild draw card as well. If player 3 wanted to, they could challenge player 2. Player 2 would have to show them their hand, and if there were any pink cards in player 2's hands, they would have to draw until they drew a purple card. However, if they didn't have any pink cards, player 3 would have to draw until they got a purple card, and they would have to draw 2 more after that as a penalty. So player 3 had to draw a whole bunch of cards. Play returns to the dealer. The color chosen was purple, and they have a purple flip card. They want to get out of the dark side, so they play that card, and all of the players flip their hands once again. Everything is flipped back to the light side. Player 1 must play a blue card. Play like this will continue until somebody gets down to 1 card left in their hand. When a player plays their second to last card and they only have 1 card remaining in their hand, they must say Uno before the next player takes their turn. If they do not, and someone else catches them and says Uno first, they must draw 2 cards. If a player forgets to say Uno, but the next player takes their turn, they got saved. They are not penalized by 2 cards, and play continues as normal. When a player plays their final card, the round ends. It's time to tally up the score. When a player goes out, they earn points based on the cards remaining in their opponent's hands. In this game, numbered cards are worth the number on the card. So 1s are worth 1 point, 2s are worth 2, and so on. Draw 1 cards are worth 10 points. Draw 5s, reverses, and skips are all worth 20 points. Skip everyone is worth 30 points. The flip card is worth 20 points. The wild card is worth 40. A wild draw 2 is worth 50. And a wild draw color is worth 60 points. Points are scored based on which side of the card is showing when the game ends. So if the game is playing in the light side, points are earned based on the light side cards. If the game is being played in the dark side, points are earned based on the dark side cards. The first player to reach 500 points wins the game. After tallying up the score, collect all the cards, deal passes left, and continue playing until one player reaches 500 points. The first player to reach 500 points wins the game. And that's how to play Uno Flip. Now, there is an alternative way to score for the game. Rather than giving the winner all the points, each player would keep their points, but as soon as a player reaches 500 points, it is the player with the lowest score that wins. So it's more like hearts. You want to be the player that either gets rid of their cards or has as small a valued hand as possible. All right, well, that is it for now. Until next time, keep on playing.